Mastering system performance. Our metrics are a lie if they don't beat the best. Why are the current system performance metrics that we track and measure in our organization essential to evaluating our operational excellence? And how do these metrics compare to recognized industry benchmarks, which are often established by leading organizations that are known for their exceptional performance and efficiency? The current system performance metrics that we track and measure in our organization are essential to evaluating our operational excellence because they provide a quantitative and qualitative assessment of our efficiency, effectiveness, and overall performance. These metrics serve as key performance indicators, KPIs, that enable us to identify areas of strength and weakness, benchmark our performance against industry leaders, and drive continuous improvement initiatives. Our organization tracks a range of system performance metrics, including 1. Process cycle time. This metric measures the time it takes to complete a specific process or set of processes, allowing us to identify bottlenecks and opportunities for streamlining. 2. Throughput. This metric measures the rate at which we complete tasks or produce output, enabling us to assess our productivity and capacity utilization. 3. Defect rate. This metric measures the number of defects or errors per unit of production, allowing us to evaluate the quality of our processes and identify areas for improvement. 4. Availability. This metric measures the percentage of time that our systems and processes are available and operating as expected, enabling us to assess our reliability and uptime. 5. Utilization. This metric measures the percentage of available resources, such as personnel, equipment, and facilities, that are being used effectively, allowing us to identify opportunities to optimize resource allocation. 6. Lead time. This metric measures the time it takes to complete a specific task or project, enabling us to evaluate our responsiveness and agility. 7. Inventory turns. This metric measures the number of times inventory is sold and replaced within a given period, allowing us to assess our inventory management and supply chain efficiency. These metrics are compared to recognized industry benchmarks, which are often established by leading organizations known for their exceptional performance and efficiency. Benchmarking allows us to 1. Assess our performance relative to industry leaders and identify areas for improvement. 2. Set realistic targets and goals for our operational excellence initiatives. 3. Identify best practices and leverage them to drive improvements in our own organization. 4. Evaluate the effectiveness of our strategies and initiatives by comparing our performance to industry benchmarks. Industry benchmarks for system performance metrics can be obtained from various sources, including 1. Industry associations and trade organizations, which often publish benchmarking reports and surveys. 2. Research firms and consulting organizations, which conduct benchmarking studies and provide data and insights. 3. Peer organizations, which may be willing to share their performance data and best practices. 4. Industry-leading companies, which may publicly disclose their performance metrics and strategies. Some recognized industry benchmarks for system performance metrics include 1. The Supply Chain Operations Reference (SCOR) model, which provides benchmarks for supply chain performance, including metrics such as order fulfillment rate, inventory turns, and supply chain response time. 2. The Global Supply Chain Benchmarking Study, which provides benchmarks for supply chain performance, including metrics such as lead time, inventory levels, and freight costs. 3. The Hackett Group's benchmarking studies, which provide data and insights on best practices and performance metrics for various industries and functions, including procurement, logistics, and IT. 4. The American Productivity and Quality Center's APQC benchmarking studies, which provide data and insights on best practices and performance metrics for various industries and functions, including supply chain, finance, and customer service. By tracking and measuring our system performance metrics and comparing them to industry benchmarks, we can identify opportunities for improvement, drive continuous improvement initiatives, and achieve operational excellence. As I sat in the conference room, staring at the sea of faces in front of me, I couldn't help but think about the disconnect between what we were measuring and what was truly important. Our organization was proud of its system performance metrics, touting them as the benchmark for operational excellence. But as I looked around the room, I saw people struggling to keep up with the demands of their workload, sacrificing their personal lives for the sake of meeting targets. I recalled a conversation I had with a colleague, Catherine, who was consistently meeting her targets but at the cost of her relationships with her family and friends. She was exhausted, and it showed in her work. I realized that our metrics were not only failing to account for the human cost of our operational efficiency, but were also perpetuating a culture of burnout. I decided to take a step back and re-examine our metrics. Were we truly measuring what mattered most? Were we prioritizing the right things? I started by talking to people across different departments, asking them about their experiences and what they thought was missing from our current metrics. One common theme emerged. People felt like they were being judged solely on their output, without any consideration for the process or their well-being. Our metrics were incentivizing the wrong behaviors, encouraging people to sacrifice their personal lives for the sake of meeting targets. I knew we needed to make a change, but where to start? I began by looking at recognized industry benchmarks, established by leading organizations known for their exceptional performance and efficiency. One organization in particular caught my attention, a company that prioritized employee well-being and social connection alongside their operational metrics. Their approach was simple, yet profound. They prioritized the human element. They recognized that happy, connected employees were more productive, more creative, and more efficient in the long run. They measured things like employee satisfaction, work-life balance, and social connection alongside their operational metrics. I was inspired. I realized that our organization had been focusing on the wrong things for too long. We needed to shift our focus from just measuring output to measuring what truly mattered, the people behind the numbers. I proposed a new set of metrics to our leadership team, metrics that prioritized employee well-being and social connection alongside operational efficiency. It wasn't an easy sell, but eventually they agreed to give it a try. The results were astounding. Productivity increased, employee satisfaction skyrocketed, and our system performance metrics began to align with recognized industry benchmarks. But more importantly, I saw people like Catherine start to thrive again. They were no longer sacrificing their relationships and personal lives for the sake of meeting targets. As I looked around the conference room, I saw a sea of faces that were engaged, motivated, and fulfilled. Our metrics were no longer just about numbers. They were about the people behind them. We had finally found a way to measure what truly mattered.